Playoff Jimmy's a real thing. Like when this dude turns up and gets like hyper competitive and locked in his game. So you combine Playoff Jimmy with Steph and that, there's three or four teams that if you said we could be in the conference finals, you would 100% believe them.
Hello, hello, hello. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yes,
Welcome
it
to
is.
this edition of Road Trippin. What neighborhood are you guys in? I'm Allie Clifton, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins. He is on the way. Thanks for joining us. The playoffs are here. What neighborhood are you guys in?
New York, Chicago,
LA.
LA. 3 different cities. And Perk, where's Perk at? Is he in LA?
Perk will be in Houston, Texas.
Wow. 4 different cities. Let's go, Big Perk. If you
all cities with NBA playoff teams.
Oh, look at you and your fast thinking this morning, Channing.
Well, Chicago for one more day, but that's neither here nor there.
Chicago's gonna win today. I think Chicago's gonna win today.
No.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, you're on the call. Chicago, Miami. They're obviously the 9-10. We've got Dallas and Sacramento to follow after that. Let's talk about the play-in before we dive into the actual matchups. You got 2 through 7 ready to go in the Western Conference. You got 2 through 7 in the Eastern Conference. But you've got a play-in game tonight with Chicago. And I actually gave this statistic today. I was reading up on the Chicago-Miami game. Did you guys know who the third player was to average this season, not average, excuse me, to accumulate 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists? Richard, don't answer. Channing, do you know
Channing,
the third player outside of, yeah, for those of you that are listening on your drive, Channing is picking at his teeth with a toothpick. Actually, not a toothpick. What do you call those things?
Tooth floss. It's a floss pick.
There's no difference. There's no difference in the disgustingness that you're doing on camera. Is it good? We good? Just make sure you're clear. Make sure it's clear. Make sure you're good. You good?
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Can you guys, outside of LeBron James and Nikola Jokic, to accumulate those numbers this season, who is the third player and only third player to do so?
1,000 points,
500 assists, and 500 rebounds. Come on, Channing.
It has to be Jokic. You just said outside of LeBron.
I said outside of Nikola Jokic and LeBron James.
Oh. That's a good question.
You're welcome.
That's a good question.
Knowing that I've started the podcast with Richard calling the Bulls game versus the Heat game.
Bam?
Oh, God. Okay. Just take him out of his misery.
But this might be why. It's like, so isn't it wild?
It's not the.
He plays for the
points.
Chicago Bulls. It's not Bam Adebayo.
Is it Josh Giddey?
Yeah. Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
I didn't think he'd have that many. Well, I guess he did have a great. This year, he's been great.
Yes.
2025 is having a great year, but I thought like 1,000 points. It doesn't seem like he would get that much.
1,000 points is not a lot. It's like, what is it? It is 10 points a game, 10 plus points a game over 82.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
Yeah,
but he's not that good of a, you would assume he's not that good of a scorer most of the time. So,
well, that's why we don't assume. We focus on the stats. So you would assume he couldn't do that.
Yeah,
but the numbers
crazy.
say that he did. Yeah, no, he's had a heck of a year. The Bulls have played well in the last like 20 plus games. And so for me, I look at they've played well. Miami might have more talent, but they haven't played great. So I tend, this is one of those 50-50 games. Do you go with the talent? Do you go with the team that's playing well? Well, the team that's playing well is the team that's at home. So that's the team that I'm kind of leaning towards, I think has the edge.
I'll be honest, I don't care. Both of these teams they're just so mid. They're just so mid, and that's
You're
bothersome.
chanting it's a fucking 10-9, bro. We don't need to go into the fact that they've been mid, right? It's like we know
Just
they've been mid.
mid.
It's the 10-9. Now break
You know
down
what they
the
are?
10-9,
They're a cheeseburger with just bun, burger, cheese, bun. No sauce, no pickles. That's a plain outdoor barbecue burger.
Hey, look.
No ketchup, onions.
Some
I
soft,
just
some soft buns and juicy meat and some cheese is all you need.
We can't
Wow.
hear you, Perk, but I feel like because we're talking about food, we need your volume right now. Can you please turn up your volume?
Can you hear us, Perk?
Here we go. Here we
There
go.
we go.
How did I come into? We just need meat and soft buns. I just
see he nasty. He nasty.
Right on time.
As soon as Perk get here. What
Is
up,
that
Big
how you
Perk?
make your burgers? Just meat and buns?
Okay, but here's my question. Here's my question. What does either team really win by winning this game?
I can tell you.
Tell me.
Okay, so there was this movie called White Man Can't Jump. And it was sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes when you win or lose, you really tie. Right? And so there's nothing to gain from here. There's young players. No. All kidding aside, there's more
Even
for
for the Miami
Chicago.
Heat?
No, I think for
For
Chicago,
what?
there's more. Miami, they've got guys that have played in the finals. They've got guys. But if you want to look at a team that's kind of been that middle ground, Chicago, they've been the play in, I think, 3-4 years in a row. So is Miami. They've been in it a few years. But I think when you look at Giddey, you look at Kobe White, you look at those guys, I think for them, that young backcourt, getting some play in, this is better than being at home right now. I'll kid you not. 1 or 2 more
Yeah, I'll
games
give you
of an
that.
intense. This is better than being in Cancun and being gone. Give me 1 playoff game to a chance to extend my season, because that's what it really is. It'll be sold out. It'll be packed. They get a chance. That environment helps you down the road. That's what they're going to experience tonight is like a game 6 in second round. It's one of those types of games from the energy and like what's kind of at stake of prolonging the season. So I think that benefits them. Miami, not so much.
Obviously, okay, you got Bulls Heat tonight. Loser goes home. The winner plays the loser of the 7-8 last night, which would be the Atlanta Hawks. And then you've got Dallas and Sacramento after that to play the loser of last night, which was the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's go to last night's play-in games. Perk, welcome to the pod. We can start with you. Should we start in the Western Conference?
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about that JV game before then. You know what I mean? That was seriously. With all due respect, that was a JV game. Like with the Magic came out, posed they will defensively. That athleticism, the size and athleticism caused problems. Now they're matched up against the Celtics. They're losing 5. Okay, cool.
You'll give them 1 though. Got it. Love it.
I'll give them 1.
They're going to bully one. They're going to bully their way to one.
Yeah, they don't. Jamal Mosley will get them to bully them, but they don't got enough 3-point shooting. They got talent, but they ain't got enough 3-point shooting, and that's where they struggle. That's where they struggle. They
need some
struggle.
skill players, like true. Okay, I tweeted this. What's up with my man's jumper?
Who?
France watched the first half. I've never seen a dude airball it 3 times. He has like a weird hitch in his shot now that I'm like, hey, you weren't already a good shooter, and now you got the yips. This is not the time to be getting the yips, and you're shooting like that.
He could work, Shannon. We can't overreact to that. Like he could work on it this summer. A lot of shots. You know, we didn't see guys improve their shooting. If that's the only thing that needs to happen for him, then just get in the lab.
What year was it for him?
According to
3?
Perk, he can start working on it in 2 weeks or a week and a half. When Boston sends him home in 5. All right, let's get to the Warriors, Memphis. Your takeaway, Perk. We'll start with you from Memphis, Golden State.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Golden State going into this series with the Rockets.
Oh,
It took too much from Jimmy and Steph for them to get that win, especially offensively. Not enough help from the others. Steph had to go for what, 33, 32, Jimmy?
no,
37.
38.
37. So they had like 80% of their fucking points. Here's the problem that I have. You're going to need a third option guy in this postseason to get buckets. That third option guy, for whatever reason, for the Golden State Warriors, is not playing. It's not playing.
No.
No. You go listen. No. You go listen. You're going to listen. Jonathan Kuminga, like the team, like when you look at his, he scored the most against the Rockets, like for his points per game when he played against the Rockets. You need athleticism against the Rockets. How does this young man go into the doghouse where he's not even touching the floor? I just don't get it. It's the same shit Steve Kerr pulled with Jason Tatum at a lesser degree. All of a sudden, you go to a guy that you drafted in the lottery and tell him, oh, you're not going to be playing. Now you might need him because Draymond said it yesterday. We're going to need Kuminga in this series. So all of a sudden, you're asking a guy who's coming up for a contract or who's up for a contract, who did get in the contract extension. His coach just benched him. Now you're asking for him to turn on the switch. And if he do turn on the switch, kudos to him, because that's going to fucking up his bag if he turn the switch on and be able to put the stuff behind him and go out there and play at a high level. If Jonathan, I'm going to leave on this. If Jonathan Kuminga doesn't play in this Rockets series, the Rockets are going to beat Golden State.
Okay,
Let's
start with this. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Channing. No, you got
go
Channing, please. No, I got nothing. Go ahead, Channing.
I have a real solution. So if somebody doesn't fit into Miami's system, right? People go, oh, they just don't fit Miami culture. Jonathan Kuminga, when he plays, and I've watched Golden State a lot because Steve Kerr, right, has said, hey, we want Jonathan to fit into our system, the system that's won 4 chips, the system that everyone is flowing with, that he is winning now. So he's supposed to sacrifice his system for a young man who has not proven to sacrifice his game to win games. Now, what Steve Kerr from his mouth wants Jonathan Kuminga to do is to embrace his role so that he can expand. He is not the first, second, and this is crazy, he's not the third best player on the team. And if you really watch him at times, yes, he looks amazing. But then the rest of the game, you're like, where are you? And why do you stall their offense? Is he the most talented? For sure, not even close. So I agree with you. But you cannot sacrifice your winning, especially if they do have to try this hard to win, to get a guy to buy into your system. When he goes in, it's 1-on-1. Now, if that's just how he plays, maybe he's not in the right place. I get it. Jonathan Kuminga is a good player. He is not a player that fits into that system. That's the fact. So why does Steve Kerr have to move Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Podziemski, all these guys for Jonathan Kuminga? Why, and so maybe that's Steve Kerr, maybe that's Kuminga, but somebody's won 10 championships. Somebody's in their third year of the NBA. So don't tell me about what this guy can do versus what I've seen this guy do. That's just my thing.
Now there is a complication, and we've seen it. I understand hey, we're in the play-in. We're in the play-in. And they lost a tough one. Wait, no, did they win the first? Yeah, they lost a tough one against who was that at the end of the season that they lost to? Clippers. They lost to Clippers. Now again, Clippers playing great basketball. You saw it was elite. Then you go to the play-in. And Perk, I get you, and you know this. There are players that can be an X factor over the course of a series, and then there are players when you are going into a one-game situation, because for the Warriors, these are one game situations, almost like a game 7 type, right? So you're not going to get multiple games. You're not going to get this. So to go into that game against Memphis, and it's like, I got 8 guys that are going to fulfill these roles, and they are going to be held accountable to that. I think Kuminga's an X factor. He might go out there and get you 25 on a night. He might go out there and give you 8 on a night. You don't know. So for me, I want to go with the devil that I know. Give me what I know I can go into a game with and what I can hold accountable. Now, a series is different. There's no doubt in my mind that Kuminga is going to play in this series. They're going to need him. But if he let's say he has 2 or 3 good games, 2 or 3 not so good games. If we go into a game 7 situation, we might, against Houston Golden State, we might not see Kaminga again. He has not proven consistently to be able to contribute as consistent as you would like. Now, Perk, in the history of the Golden State Warriors, with Steve Kerr there for 10 years, right, or whatever he's been, we have been able to see a consistent level of development and accepting of roles. And Kaminga is still learning and still figuring that out. I'm perfectly okay. I wouldn't compare the Jason Tatum situation to this one, right? But I would still stick by Steve Kerr and say, hey, look, we had some 1-game situations. I didn't want Kaminga to go out there and go 2 for 12 when I got Jimmy fucking Butler, when I got Pajimski, when I got Moody, when I got Gary Payton II. I want defense, and these are going to be my scorers, and I'm going to go. My team's on the floor. Now, in a 7-game series, it's more of a chess match. Okay, maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can tweak him. Maybe we get some minutes. Okay, how's he playing the first half? At what point in time did Kaminga get past the point of having to prove himself? He hasn't elevated like Maxey. He hasn't elevated like Austin Reeves. And it's not for a lack of opportunity. These guys, through their basketball IQ, have proven that they can play on the floor at any moment and can adjust their games. Kaminga's still learning that, and that's okay. But he doesn't get to learn on Steph Curry's timetable.
Hell
Not
no.
right now. Not right now. That's what the first 82 is for. The first 82 was for the timetable. Now it's either you figure it out or you don't, and now you get to be a chess piece versus being one of the main pieces.
Okay. Let me say this. One, Jonathan Kaminga just might be the most athletic motherfucker in the NBA.
That's not no.
That's a no. What are you?
You gonna
saying?
start out? I can name 3. 2 of them with the last name Thompson. One named Shaden Sharp. Stop it. What are we doing?
I
He
said
said might be one of. He didn't
He's
say
in that class, Channing. He's in that class.
like,
He's in that class.
Top 10. Top 10.
You go knock down the curtain. Chill out.
Seriously.
Keep a cool booty over there, bro. Listen, here's what I'm saying. You find ways, you could find a way to play 6'9", that a guy that could pick up 94 feet, right? Okay, you're going to need him in this Rocket series. Now, let me go to Steve Kerr for a second.
Wait, but does he pick up 94 feet? No scouting reports.
Yes, I have seen him picking up slide 94 feet. I have seen him do it. I saw it.
Maybe I haven't.
Go back.
Go ahead. Finish.
Okay, let me finish.
I can be wrong.
Now, let's please go back to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, Hall of Fame coach. He is a Hall of Fame coach. All right, but let's be real here. He has had his moments of making mistakes that has cost his team championships. Meaning, when y'all came back from one, right? When y'all came back down.
What was his mistake?
I mean,
he got Andrew Bogut hurt.
Hold on, time out. What?
Did he get Andrew Bogut hurt?
I'm
Did
saying,
he get
yeah,
Draymond Green those 26?
No, but I know
technicals?
Ty Lue made adjustments. I know Richard Jefferson, all of a sudden, correct me if I'm wrong, got inserted into the starting lineup.
That's because Kevin got concussed.
It don't fucking matter. It don't fucking matter.
Poor Kev.
I saw Ty Lue out coach him. Here's my thing. I'm not even about to bring up the record of Steve Kerr when Steph Curry doesn't play, because I don't even want to go that route, because the facts are the facts. Y'all can look it up right now. It is horrible. It is horrible. My thing is this. I'm going to lean into this. I believe that you could get a lot more out of Jonathan Kaminga. I believe that he is a value and not a liability. And I'm again say this. I believe if they don't play Jonathan Kaminga in this Rocket series, the Rockets are going to beat them. They're going to beat them.
The Golden State Warriors played 4 against Houston this year. Kuminga played in 3. He was inactive in the other. He averaged 25 versus the Rockets. I understand it's regular season versus postseason, but do you lean into that at all with a guy like Kuminga?
What was their record, Allie?
Wait.
What was their record?
versus Houston as a team in those
Maybe
three?
2-2,
Yeah.
maybe 2-2, maybe. But also,
Yeah.
how many of those games were
Yep.
played pre-Jimmy Butler? One. And
They all were
but
played pre-Jimmy Butler.
and so again, they bring in like Jimmy's on his way to the Hall of Fame. Jimmy's about 2 or 3 more years away from solidifying that resume and being a Hall of Fame player. So now they bring in a Hall of Fame player. It's you got to adjust your game, and I think Kaminga's talented. I was once the all I do is run and jump and be athletic player. I was that for the first 4 years of my career. So I understand the growth that's expected of Kaminga. And all I'm going to say is that I see him getting better and still think that there's more room for him to grow. Yes, he will play in this series. Yes, he will have an impact on this series. And I believe Golden State should be favored. Now, but we can go back if we get into a 1-game situation where it's basically a game 7 because you can beat Houston. You don't like your chances versus OKC. To me, I look at that and I'm like, I'm going with my top 8
Yeah.
that's in his system. That's all I'm
I
saying.
don't know. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he needs to play in this series.
Agreed.
Agreed.
They're going home. That's all I'm saying.
There a lot of talk coming out of the game last night was Batman Robin. You heard it a lot from Jimmy, especially. One, do you guys believe in that? And two, how far can, if that is the case, the two of them take the Warriors?
Look at this. What I'll say. I don't see the same the things that we have seen in the last 3 weeks of how jumbled the Western Conference is. Everything looks that way going into the postseason. Clippers look like they could get to the NBA Finals. The Lakers look like they've been playing very good basketball and looks like they have a pathway. Watching playoff Jimmy and even Spoelstra, when we had he's like, dude, playoff Jimmy's a real thing. Like when this dude turns up and gets like hyper competitive and locked in his game. So you combine playoff Jimmy with Steph and that, the Warriors there's 3 or 4 teams that if you said could be in the conference finals, you would 100% believe them. I don't even think the Lakers have an easy route with Minnesota because Minnesota's been playing the best basketball. First 50 games, okay. Last 30 games, the way Minnesota's been playing, they look like that team. So between Minnesota, between the Lakers, between the Clippers, we haven't even mentioned Denver yet. Houston is the unknown, and Houston is the biggest unknown in the top 8, and they are the number 2 seed. So that's it's what I have no idea what's about to happen, but we will all see. It will take 2 games, and everything as the balloons go flying. Everything will be very obvious. But even in those 2 games, remember last year where Denver lost the first 2 games at home to Minnesota, and we were like, "What is going on?" Then Minnesota loses 2 games at home. For the most part, the West is still wide open. Nothing has changed. Memphis has to play who?
Memphis has to play
The winner of Dallas, Sacramento.
Golden State go beat them in 5. I mean, not Golden State, excuse me. Oklahoma City go beat Memphis. Whoever get that 8 spot.
5. The
Yes,
4.
bro.
Listen, wrap that
Hang
up.
on. Before we know who's going to be the 8 seed, let's continue this conversation. I do first want to wrap up the Warriors Rockets whole element and kind of transition just a little bit and allow you a moment, Perk, to explain your Defensive Player of the Year vote that you got after.
Who's Lugdort?
You said on this podcast 2 weeks ago that your Defensive Player of the Year was going to be Draymond Green after he got the strip on Luka and beat the Lakers. And then you put out on Twitter yesterday, to which all the eyes are on you, my friend. Your Defensive Player of the Year is, who?
Lugdort. Who's Lugdort?
What? I mean, that's the first 3 initials of his name, fool. So I put it on.
Lugans.
So look, here's the thing, right?
Here's the thing, right?
Here's the thing. I changed like the weather. You know what I mean?
We noticed.
Now, when I put it out there that Draymond was going to be my Defensive Player of the Year, they still had a few more games left. And in those few games, I'm like, hey, dog, looking kind of funny. And that one game, I didn't say because listen, in that one game against the Rockets, Şengün was busting his ass. He could say what he wanted about the Europeans, but the elbows, the all this unnecessary Şengün got, and I'm like, nah, defensive player of the years don't ask for that. So then we go into the last game of the season against the Clippers. Okay, I just filled out my ballot yesterday. So now I'm watching closely. All right, because now it's coming down, you know what I'm saying? It's like Draymond, yeah, I got you penciled in. So I'm giving y'all the full story. No lies. Look, no lies, no get penciled, not penned in, so I can go back and erase it. It's penciled in, right? So here's the thing. I'm watching that game and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, you going against Big Zubac, who, by the way, I voted most improved player because it's finally
90%
time.
of people who watch basketball voted for him.
Yeah. I mean, Big Zubac. So I'm just telling you. So I'm watching that game, and I'm watching Draymond guard Zubac, and when they throw it in on the low block, guess what I see coming? A trap.
Barbecue chicken.
No.
Double team. They were playing inside
Every
outside.
time.
They were bringing help.
Yeah, so I'm like, no. If you're the defensive player of the year, it's no help. It's no help. I got him straight up. It's no double teaming on that. So now I get my ballot. You know what I'm saying? They sending me the email. They tell me I got to have it in by 6 a.m. Eastern. I get the ballot, and it gets the defensive player of the year. And all this shit get this, you know what I'm saying, going in my mind. And I'm getting to thinking, and I'm weighing the two, because Luke Dorsey was going to be my second. He was going to get voted in second on my ballot. And I'm like, Draymond, the last couple games that I saw, OKC leads defensively and everything. The Luke Dort effect. I went back and I also looked at, because you know all these teams send out these campaigns. You know what I mean? They send out they send out the campaign. So let me say this to y'all. Hold on. Let me say this to y'all. Matt. Hold on.
He's trying to find it, Perk. I got you, Perk. You keep finding
I got it right here. So the campaign came out. The Luke Dort effect. Devin Booker for the season, 25 points a game. Against OKC, 15 points a game. Cade Cunningham, 25 points a game for the season. Against OKC, Luke Dort, 11 points a game. Luka Doncic, 27 points a game. Against OKC, 16. LeBron, 24 points a game. Against OKC, 12. Donovan Mitchell, 24.
Is he guarding LeBron and Luka at the same time?
I don't know. But the way that they framed it up, you know what I'm saying?
Look good.
It got you. Good. It got you. Hook, line, and sunk you. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, when I get to my ballot, I'm like, number one defensive team in the league and everything. I got to go with Luke Dort, but I did vote Draymond second, though.
Oh, I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
I mean, that's 3 points.
Touche.
To add to your point on Lou Dort, they didn't have Hartenstein to start the season. Then they lost Chet to start the season. Then they lost Chet 3 games before Hartenstein was going to get back. So then they didn't have a lot of big depth. So they were playing small. They were playing 5 smalls. They were playing, the depth lineup, very similar to Golden State, where they play a bunch of smalls. But all season long, their defense has been number one. All season long. All season long, they've had a top defense, regardless if they had their bigs, if they didn't have their bigs, if there was interchangeable bigs. And again, it's not just him. I think whenever you win a Defensive Player of the Year award, it is collective team defense. You go and look at when Rudy won Defensive Player of the Year last year. He had Ant. He had Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He had McDaniels. So he had all defensive players around him, with him being the hub to funnel through him. And I think Lou what he does from an energy standpoint consistently every single night and being kind of, you look at when Marcus Smart won it, and I think he's done a better job defensively than Marcus Smart did the year that he won it. And that's not like he was defensive player of the year. Marcus Smart deserved it. I'm not disrespecting that. I'm just saying, if I look at from a perimeter standpoint, I think that my eye test tells me that Lou Dort have done as good of a job as Marcus Smart did. So guards don't win it very often because they're not blocking shots. They're not guards don't win that award. But watching Lou consistently all season long, regardless of who was in the lineup, like, you got to give them some love. You got to give them some credit.
All right, Channing, we're going to start with you, but we got to move on because we got a lot of series. I want predictions for Houston Warriors. Channing, quickly, and then we'll move on.
Warriors win in 7, 4-3.
Perk.
Same.
Oh, Rich.
Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6. Okay, moving on. 6-3 in the Western Conference. Timberwolves, Lakers. Channing, what intrigues you most?
Honestly, and I said this last night, I think Rudy Gobert, if he could stay on the floor and not get cooked or be picked on, is going to have a huge influence on this game with his rebounding, his shot blocking. If they can limit the Lakers to settling for threes and be a rim threat, I think it goes 6. But I still think the Lakers win. And the biggest what if is not Rudy Gobert, it's not Julius Randle, is Luka Doncic, and are them ankles ready to move? Because, hey, they're going to find him. Are you playing? Come on over here. Hey, come on, Luka. Come on over here with me.
We
he's gonna be
disagree.
at every single screen.
But how many people do they have to put him in screens? They have Ant Edwards. And that's not saying that Ant Edwards ain't a monster. It's very different than when you look at Boston and how they dismantled him, and they got 5 different guys. Peyton Pritchard, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White. Come over here. All those dudes, come over here. How many does Minnesota have? They've got
2.
one guy.
2.
Who's the second?
I'll give Julius Randle.
No, Julius Randle's the problem, but it's not like Julius Randle's going to be calling for Luka's guy to come over here and scream. He might, and he very well can, because he might go get the small. I'm just saying, Luka being put on those puppies and those ice skates, I agree with you, is a big part of the series. But where I feel comfortable with the Lakers is that I don't know if Minnesota's got enough people, because Rudy is going to be in as many pick and rolls as Luka is on the other side. Right. And so I just, the one thing that worries me about that series is the size of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Right. They are big, they are long, they are athletic. So if they can beat up the Lakers on the glass, and I'm not saying the Lakers aren't good, but they go small and they don't got a lot of size. And LeBron's playing the 4-5, but there's Rudy, there's Naz Reid, McDaniels is long and athletic. Like, they just have a lot of size. So if they're out rebounding the Lakers, if they're getting offensive rebounds, if that's what's going on, then I think Minnesota has a chance, because defensively they can do a good job, and then they can keep that pressure on the glass. That's what intrigues me about the Minnesota.
If I'm not mistaken, Minnesota is not a great rebounding team in terms of the size that they have comparative to the league, but they're still better than the Lakers at rebounding. How about this interesting stat? And then I want to do a fun thing with you guys. How about this stat? Since Luka came to the Lakers, you mentioned it, Channing, just now with the 3-ball, making him shoot the 3-ball. And then we talked about it last week, I believe, Perk, with you. The Lakers have shot, of their attempts that they have attempted since Luka came to the Lakers, 47% of them have come from threes.
Wow.
Isn't that
he's a shot creator.
It's almost half their attempts.
I mean, that's what happens though, Allie, when you have 2 shot creators like that have a
That's only at the 3-point line?
But it's those
spacing is open.
Yeah, it's
spacing is open.
You would think I would know this. I play Division I basketball. All right. I want to do this. Can you guys give me Perk, yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So the Minnesota Lakers series, I got it going 7. But I will say this. Didn't you just say Lakers in 6? No, but I changed it. Lakers in 7. Lakers in 7. I actually changed it. Lakers in 7. But let me address this. We have to stop living on that one play for us with Luka hitting that
and
game. Rudy. That was one play in like that.
Great defense. Great defense.
That was one play. And here's the thing. One, JJ and Braun are fucking too brilliant like basketball minds. They're not going to allow Luka to get put on the island. I guarantee you, when they have their game plan is when they try to search Luka out, a trap is coming from somewhere, right, to help Luka out. Luka is not going to get put on the island. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I think what was key for Luka and the Dallas Mavericks last season was having Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford offensively.
Yep.
Because that opened up so much for Luka and Kyrie to get downhill. That's why Luka wants a lob threat so bad, because think about it, in the pick and roll, once he get into the paint, Luka usually has the floater or he usually has the lob threat, right? Now Rudy could be like a difference maker, especially if they, try to go small. Because if you go small, even with Rudy not on the floor, the Minnesota Timberwolves still have Naz Reid and Julius Randle. Right, like that's still something if Julius Randle buy to, roll into the basket. But again, I got the Lakers in 7. I think Anthony Edwards will win 2 games by himself, right? Like just because of the dog he is. He's just a different killer, bro. Like I'm not saying he's gonna win the series, but that 5 and all that, no, he's winning 2 games by himself.
He's getting double teamed. I'm double teaming his ass as soon as he step off the bus.
The people
This is my question. I think it leads to this. Will you guys give me the top 5 players, best 1 to 5 in this series? I'm very curious who you guys, the order you put this in.
I'm not going to put Braun. I'm putting nobody over Braun.
Luka.
Yeah.
Ant 3. Julius Randle 4. Austin Reeves 5.
I see no problem with that list.
You guys put all of this talk on Ant Edwards, and he's the 3rd best player in the series.
Yeah, but Braun. The reason why Braun is number 1 is because of his IQ. In my opinion, and his impact physically. Like you could still get to. It's like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can still just have a night where he's like, "I'm Kevin Durant, and tonight my team will win." Right?
No, he can't.
No,
not anymore, but he could. In theory, yes.
We're only talking about in theory.
Allie, listen, when we played 2016 Paul George, he was the 3rd best player on the court. We double teamed him at half court.
He was cooking us.
Yeah, and he was still cooking us. And we were like, yes, you're the 3rd best player. That's just because we got these 2 motherfuckers over here. Like, you're the only dude. Anthony Edwards is the only dude that can beat the Lakers. So why even let him play? I'm not going to let him play basketball. Like, you're going to have to take bad shots. And if these dudes get hot, they get hot. We're sticking with it. And we just need to rebound. But I can't let you play basketball the way you want to play basketball, especially because I know you're not afraid of this moment. Hell no.
We can talk about the top 5, but the people that, in my opinion, that will dictate the series are really the 6 through 9. If Conley shoots the ball well, if Naz Reid shoots the ball well, if Ruri shoots the ball well, if Ruri.
I didn't know it was an R on them.
Okay, Lug Dort.
If he shoots the ball well, if those 5, if they shoot the ball well on either side, if Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if he shoots the ball well, because those are going to be the guys that are sprayed to. Anthony Edwards gets double teamed, they're going to spray it. It's going to be Conley. It's going to be Naz Reid. It's going to be those individual. DiVincenzo. If those boys shoot the ball well, and on the same side on the Lakers, if it's Doe, if it's
Rui, Gabe,
if those guys shoot the ball well, even Austin Reeves, you expect the top players to have 1 or 2 games where they lead their team. Then you expect them to have good performances over the course of 7 games. games. The difference is that 6 through 10. Which one of if Dante DiVincenzo shoots 48% over the 6-game series, you're going to be in a great spot if you're Minnesota. If Naz Reid plays like the 6th man of the year, you're going to be in a great spot. If Rory, if any of these other dudes for the Lakers step up and play well, then that's going to be the Lakers story. So to me, we're going to be watching those middle 5 guys because those are going to be the people outside of the double team that get the ball and make the decision.
I know this. The Lakers better not come out on that cool shit because here's why. I just go back to that Denver series and I just remember game 1 and them Timberwolves was fucking like hyenas. Like the picking up of 94 feet, and it starts with Anthony Edwards. Like we talk about what he brings to the table offensively. That motherfucker is a prideful defender. Like he is like when it comes down to being in shape, being conditioned, playing both sides of the basketball at an elite level, he does that. And I just remember how frustrated they had Jamal Murray. They had the fucking Jamal Murray throwing heat packs, right? Like he was, you remember that shit?
I forgot about that.
I did forget about that.
Him, McDaniels. Now, obviously, you don't have Cat, but they have the athleticism. And when them boys are on it defensively, you better not come up with all that old walking. And I'm just getting flashbacks of Jaylen Brown and Luka last year. Jaylen Brown's like, oh, nah, dog. Because that's what won Jaylen Brown the MVP. Like, Jason Tatum had the better numbers. Jaylen Brown's like, oh, nah, dog. Give me that. I'm ripping you on that shit. Lakers better not come out cool.
So Perk has Lakers in 7. Channing, what do you got?
Yeah, I got Lakers in 6.
Richard?
Lakers in 8.
All right, going on to the 4-5 matchup starts in Denver. Denver Clippers. Give me a hot take, Perk.
Oh, I'll say it. Clippers sweep the Nuggets.
Go ahead, huh?
That's a hot take. Clippers sweep the Nuggets.
Is it though a hot take right now?
Here's what I'll say.
That's a hot
Richard,
take.
when we look at what team, and you guys alluded to this, what team has the least amount of what ifs? Now, every team has a what if. Even Boston. What if they go cold for a game? What if something happens to Porzingis, whatever? Get Lakers in 5. Like, listen, the Clippers have one what if is Kawhi stay healthy. That's their only what if. He's cooking. They're well coached. They got great leadership. They have star power. They established themselves on the block. They are defensive minded. They have veteran leadership. They're not afraid of the moment. And they are underdogs playing like this. There's no pressure. Now, it's starting to get a little attention because everyone's looking like, ooh, is that the anti-hero Kawhi?
Y'all got 2 all-NBA players in Zubac, James Harden, and Kawhi, and you got Norman Powell.
And you got Chris Dunn being a dog defensively.
Okay, he's a dog. His transformation, when he tried to be a scorer, I was like, this dude sucks. Now that he has embraced being just a defender, he's a monster.
It's called coaching. When you're a great coach, you get the best out of a player. You make him be a star in your role. All of a sudden, he's a starter on Ty Lue's team. And
wait, Perk. Because he accepted his role, right? He accepted his role. He dominated in his role. He accepted his role and dominated. Look at him. He sat back and threw it. Look at him. He sat back because he accepted his role and said, "I'm gonna dominate in that role." Sound like anybody else we started this conversation?
Yeah, but different scenarios though. We're talking about different scenario. And let me say this.
Hold on, Richard. Good point.
Hey. Hot take. You ready for this? You ready for this fucking hot take?
What?
Ben Simmons is going to be the wild card in this series for the Clippers. And look,
get me off here. I'm done.
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. I saw Ben Simmons making some hell of a plays. Fuck the Ben Simmons that could score. Ben Simmons at 6'9", rebounding decision maker. He's going to play crucial minutes for them. He's going to have an impact, and we're going to come out of this series saying that Ben Simmons, damn, he was impactful. That's my fucking hot take.
No,
I hope
that's
so.
too
I
high.
hope so. I hope
That's too
so.
high.
I hope so. I worry about
You just
Denver
said they
getting.
gonna sweep them. That's even high, bitch.
Ben Simmons? I forgot he was on the team.
Oh, come on, Shannon.
Okay.
That a briefcase?
No, it's a backpack.
What's the back? Oh, it looked like a briefcase. I was like, you was just
You know, hey,
All right,
I
so
got a
Channing
briefcase,
has
though.
the Clippers sweeping the Nuggets.
I got it in 6. I don't think it's
Who? Clippers in 6?
outside of OKC and whoever they match up with. All the other series are going 6 or 7.
Yeah, I got Clippers in 8.
Oh yeah, you can't pick. I forgot.
I
What
can
is
pick, but
he
it's just,
doing?
I can pick. I just don't want any of that bullshit. I don't want any of that in my mention. You said they were going to. Well, I didn't know that.
Like
fucking-
Perk's getting.
I didn't know that so and so was going to go 0 for 18. Does that make me that I don't know basketball? Like my bad. So I gotta keep that shit.
like if I
man.
can
I'm not
predict
gonna
basketball games and I'm
argue. I
still
would
doing
not
TV,
be here. Yeah,
no,
I
I
would
would not fucking be here.
Yeah.
I'm
All right,
guesstimating.
let's go to the Eastern Conference.
Ugh.
There's only
Nah,
2 series that are
I'm just
interesting.
bullshit. I'm bullshitting. This is gonna be some good action. I play.
No, dude. Indiana, Milwaukee is going to be great. and
Detroit,
Knicks,
Detroit, New York. Hey,
Can
hey,
we let
be
Allie
great.
get to what she needed to get
Will
to?
you? Will you?
Yeah,
shut
even
the
ask
fuck
you.
up?
You know what? We're reversing
Go
it.
ahead,
Allie, which series are you excited
No,
about?
fuck
on
that.
the
I'm
Eastern
the
Conference?
host. I am the host. Fuck that.
Allie,
now
just
she- now
answer
she-
one question.
Huh?
Which one?
I think the Pistons. I like the Pistons Knicks series.
Hey,
You're welcome. That's all
the
I'm
I'll be
getting.
there.
Indiana
I'll be-
Milwaukee series got the most weight in the Eastern Conference.
Do you think we'll see Dame this series? Though he's
No. I
getting
hope so.
better, he hasn't been cleared. I had heard that he was close though. No?
I hope so. I'm
Yeah.
rooting for Dame's
No, for
amazing.
sure,
I
yeah.
hope so. If Dame plays, they win. If they don't, it's going to be just the pace in which, the Pacers play. I think even with Giannis taking his game to another level, right? That they're going to need the scoring from Dame. And look, I like Porter. I like Kuzma. I like the additions of younger wings. They needed that help badly, right? But then you lose Dame, and they're still in a good spot. Imagine if they would have had Dame. They might have been 3-4 more wins. So if Dame can play, that's different. The series that I like that looks like everyone for the most part is whole is that Knicks versus Pistons. They definitely gonna fight. I don't know who's gonna fight. I don't know who's gonna scuffle, but there's going to be some sort of scuffle. That's just what it is, right? Also,
for
we
sure.
got Lukey Dookie and we got JB on the sideline. That's gonna be fun.
Big
right?
Luke.
Luke. So we got them on the sideline.
Kirk, why did you
I'm
not
excited.
seem intrigued at all?
I am. Look, I think the Bucks are still going to win that series against the Pacers, even without Dame. Giannis has been that fucking dominant. Giannis.
Okay, if Giannis averages 50, who's scoring the other 50
Hey,
points on
look,
that team?
we could go. I don't want to hear it. I got the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? When two
Okay.
men,
Bet?
when two men, hell yeah, I want to bet. That's what I was just about to say. When two men disagree, the next
Oh,
word.
what's the bet? What's the bet?
Nah,
Allie, make the bet.
$360.
I don't
That's
want
a
no
case of
fucking
wine.
case. I got too much fucking wine in there. I don't want no wine, no more liquor. I don't want none of that shit.
Stop losing. Then stop losing.
Let's pick up a dinner bell. Let's pick up a dinner bell.
That's what
Ooh.
I'm talking about. Now you talk like
Hey, let's pick up a dinner bill when Perk and Channing are in LA in 2 weeks and we go to our new
I'm with
live
that.
studio and we
I could-
record Road Trip and then we all go to dinner together.
I go
Hey, listen. Look. I'm spending some money, some road tripping money, some of my money. I expect to see y'all.
Channing,
Wait,
we'll
when
talk.
am I
but
supposed to
need
be
you
there?
get on. Yeah.
But look, hey, we
Wait,
there.
seriously, when am I supposed to be there?
In like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
like the
get it.
30th.
Yeah, when your contract is up.
Hey, look.
when Turner locks the doors.
Hey,
When they lock the doors.
No,
What
Turner's not locking the door. NBA TV is locking the
TV
door.
is locking the door.
Perk, get your point across.
can we please look? The Pistons, most surprising team this season. JB Bickerstaff, some people voted for him coach of the year. I'm not mad. He was second on my ballot. I voted
Who's
for
number one?
Ime Udoka. So
Okay.
I mean, come on, you could go either one, right? Here's the thing. Pistons, successful season. Cade Cunningham, he got my vote, first team all NBA. We could talk about it later, however, if y'all disagree or whatever. First team all NBA, right? He finished top 5 in my MVP conversation. 26, 9, and 6. The playoffs are a different monster. Let's stop with the bullshit. And I'm on social media. People be watching me, but I'll be watching people as well. Here's the thing. And I'm not knocking. Look, I want the Pistons to soak it all in. I want them to get everything they deserve. Malik Beasley, right? Commercial. He got him a commercial. They happy about it. Cool. They happy to be in the postseason, right? They're happy to be there. That's a concern. Isaiah Stewart just fucking dropped a rap video. You're playing against a team that is under a whole lot of pressure, right? This team is under some pressure. We can say we want, but the Knicks are under some pressure, right? You don't give up 5 first-round picks to get Mikal Bridges, bring in Karl Anthony Towns to have to be able to go into a series against a young Detroit that team that doesn't have experience to take it to a fucking 6 or 7 games. No. This team is going to be fucking locked in. And we talk about the second option, right? We just talked about that, right, Alec? Didn't we just say that with Anthony Edwards? Or no, not Anthony Edwards. Who was that? The team we was talking about with the second. Huh? Oh, Giannis. We just said
bought
the
into their
Globetrotters.
role.
Oh, okay. You know, Tom Thibodeau is going to be trapping Cade Cunningham every single time. They're going to fire when he has the isolation at the top. They're going to blitz his pick and rolls. When he catch it on the low block, they're going to trap again. Who is the second option that's going to be ready for that moment? Is it going to be
Harris?
Get the fuck out of here. Is it going to be Tim Hardaway Jr., right? Is it going to be Malik Beasley, Jalen Durant? Like, no, it's not. And it's not a knock. Man, the Knicks are going to win that fucking series.
I didn't
Is
know
this what our bet is?
that.
Is this what our dinner bet is? Is it on this series?
No. Shannon won't smoke.
It's Indiana, Milwaukee. And you want to know why? Because I know people on Indiana go, man, we've had Milwaukee's number for a long time, and they don't even
was
believe
1-3 against them this season. So you could talk about having number.
Okay,
do whatever
so
you want to.
really quick, what's the bet then?
No, it's not a bet yet. I'm tired
Dinner.
of no. Here's my bad. What's wrong, Allie?
What do you mean yes?
What's
the fucking series is starting this weekend. What do you
No,
mean?
no. Because this motherfucker, I gave him a sweet ass bet. That shit, Jimmy versus the field, that was sweet. He's gonna have to give me something to that nature. It can't just be, the Bucks series with Giannis coming in, and because I picked Giannis, is like the Bucks with no Dame. You like, you want to bet? No, motherfucker, you gonna have to put some stipulations into this. Like, you gonna have to give on your part.
Indiana wins 4-2.
That's not that's not enough. If they 4-1. Say that.
what 4-1? That's 4-1. If it goes
I don't
4-1,
know.
Like, Giannis is too good.
listen.
Oh,
Look,
no,
okay,
Giannis
wait,
too
Perk.
good.
4-1 mean or 4-2 means that the 4-2. That means that there's if it goes 7, you win, regardless of who.
Bet.
Of who.
Yeah,
Bet. Take it.
I'll take it.
Pencil that.
Okay,
in.
now what's the bet though?
What you said? Dinner.
Like
The
dinner?
Dinner.
Yeah.
The
So
drink
then what?
bill.
So then what? Rich and I just get to eat?
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
just-
Allie. Shut up,
Okay.
Allie.
Okay.
Fuck.
Someone who hasn't been eating, we're gonna end this podcast right here because I don't feel like you guys had anyone else to talk about in the Eastern Conference. Was there anything wrong with LeBron shooting 4 hours before with his shirt off?
Yeah, I felt like it was unprofessional.
Fuck you. Oh, Perk.
It amazes me how people fucking can find something to be upset about all the time. Especially the people that are like Zeke,
Like Perk?
Isaiah's Isaiah, Perk is Perk. I'm like, we all got our own personalities, but when I saw that, I was like, you know the part that I thought about? I was like, that's less offensive than the booty shorts that fucking Isaiah used to play in with his ass hanging out like all them players. Do you remember you what Vinny Johnson? Vinny Johnson used to look like Perk in some booty shorts. Bill Lambier, like the motherfucker, like I'm saying, they cheeks was hanging out. We wouldn't let our daughters walk out of the house in them shorts that them players are playing
It's
in,
also true.
and he out here talking about a shirt. You ain't got a shirt on 9 hours before, and it's like, man, if you don't take your Daisy Duke short wearing ass home talking all that nonsense.
I kind of see it both ways. Here's why I say it both ways. One, if I fucking had a 6-pack and kills it up, I would be out there without my shirt on.
Oh, for sure.
All right, that's not so. Let me get that out the way. I see where Isiah is going. Like for us, like all right, unprofessionalism. Bron is out there, no shirt, do rag. Like this is a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Like, and it has been a lot going on, like of unprofessionalism throughout the course of this, like these past 2 seasons. So if it was built up to that, and we taking a deeper dive, like we had Pat Bev who threw a basketball at a fucking billionaire. He didn't even know it was a billionaire. She's like one of the biggest fucking gas ladies in the world in the Pacers series. When they hit her in the face last year, and they dealing with this whole lawsuit, right? You have John Morant with the grenades, the ARs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just probably what, Richard? I just think, man, at the time, that's how the old school felt. And this is why I give Isiah Thomas a pass. You go back, history tells us over the past 4 or 5 years, Isiah Thomas has been one of LeBron James' biggest supporters. So, like, seriously, one of his biggest supporters. GOAT conversations. Now, that might have something to do because him and Michael Jordan, got this beef attention, but he has been one of Bron's biggest supporters. He always has Bron back. So it caught me off guard when I heard him say that, but I'm in between on both. Like, if I had the 6-pack, you know what I'm saying? Damn it, I would be out there getting my
So
shots.
you basically have disqualified yourself from having an opinion because you could be Isaiah complaining. So basically, you just complaining that you ain't got a 6-pack.
I didn't pick a side. I didn't pick a side. I just said I see both
So you
sides.
if you didn't pick your side, then you disqualify yourself from this conversation.
Knowing Isiah, one, the Jordan Bron thing, Isiah loves LeBron. He said it everywhere. He just loves that LeBron is consistent and professional. But one thing about Isiah, I was his rookie. He drafted me. We had to wear a suit and tie, socks, dress shoes in the snow in New York. And as a rookie, we had to help load the bags onto the plane. Okay? So
what was your record?
we're bad. We're bad. That had nothing to do with that. We're bad. But just hear me out. I get on the plane. It's like, hey, the vets are like, hey, you got to be early to get on the plane. So I get on the plane. And he's like, he just sees me sitting there. He goes, did you help with the bags? I say, yeah, Martinez, like, we're good. He was like, but you're the first on the plane. So how are you helping with the bags? And I was like, oh, yeah, I helped with the ball bags. He said, no. All the bags. And he was like, where's your tie? I was like, oh, I'm just sitting on a plane. I didn't think I had it. He goes, nope. Tie the whoop. He goes, where's your belt? I go, oh. He goes, get off my fucking plane and make sure you bring a belt. So I had to go get my bag, get a belt, put my belt on. So like he looks at the game. This fucker watches high school, junior high, women, men, overseas. He's a hoop junkie. And when we're back there at NBA TV, he's talking about everything. So LeBron does not get a pass because he's LeBron. I took my jersey off after practice and put it, you know how you take it off? But like I had a undershirt on. I threw it and it fell on the ground and I didn't change it. He was doing media and he saw me just throw the Knicks jersey and it like didn't hit this hoop. It just fell on the ground. It was on the ground for a minute. He storms over points in my face. He was like, go pick that fucking jersey up. Do you know how hard you work for that fucking jersey? And he was like, get on the line. Made me run for throwing my jersey on the ground. So like he has certain things, and now mind you, where he came from, who he is, and some of the things that he does, it may be like once you know him, you go, oh, he would yell at the 15th guy as he's yelling at Braun about professionalism, when you show up, how you show up. He fined our whole team because we didn't run out together. Because some guys ran out, some guys sat. So like he does have little quirks about things that piss him off.
Can I get qualified for this conversation? Fuck you.
No.
No, fuck you. Allie, I can get qualified for this conversation. I pick a side. I agree with Isiah. You know why I agree with him? Because he's not just picking on Braun. He's saying, man, listen, bro, you're the example. Now all of a sudden, we don't want to look down the line, and all of a sudden, we see every other person around the league coming out shooting with their shirts off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the pregame, we don't want to see all that.
This is what I want to say. This is what I
That's
want to say.
also him, though.
Yeah. I accept that Isaiah is the man. I accept it, right? I accept it.
Fair.
He got a
The
great
one
one,
he
man.
no, I fuck with Isaiah. That's why I'm
Isaiah
joking about. That's why I'm
Lord
joking about the booty shorts. That's why I'm
That's his
joking
name.
about that. Yeah, Zeke, like, because
Isaiah
it's like.
Lord Thomas.
But
That's
this
how
is
you
my
say it.
thing. Let me be clear. The best thing that he said in his rant was that the coaches need to wear suits again. That was the best thing he said. We want to talk about unprofessionalism and this, and I'm not saying it's unprofessional, but to see our coaches, and we talk about the face of the league, well, the coaches are the front door to our leagues. They do the most interviews, they have the most conferences, and they're up there. They all look like Bill Belichick. They out there in hoodies. I'm joking. I'm just giving the but I'm saying there was a level of professionalism. So don't tell me that if the coaches can just be out there in some sneakers, some Lululemons, and a zip up, and then you mad that a player is wearing X, Y, and Z. I think that coaches should bring, like, even if it's the first game of the season, maybe it's just during the postseason. I think suits should come back.
I'm
I know
an
it's,
advocate for suits. I want
I'm an
suits coming
advocate
back.
for suits. It's like, again, I get in the bubble and you're like, we're not going to bring 30 suits to the bubble. But now it's like, fuck it, suits are gone forever. And you're just like, come on. Like, there's it doesn't have to be shirt and tie. It doesn't even, like, you can rock some sneaker. There can be something. Put on a blazer. How about just a blazer? We don't care what it is. Put on a blazer.
It would be cool if the coaches all got custom suits, like custom blazers, that were all uniform that just had the team's logo on it. And it was a patch. And that way it could be a stretchy material, but they would all look uniform.
Yeah. What are those golf shirts motherfuckers wear?
Yeah, love them.
If I have to watch the Lakers, if I have to watch the Lakers team entire coaching staff wear the same panda dunks one more time, I'm gonna shoot myself.
They switch it up. They got a couple different shoes that they all wear the same matching shoes.
I actually think it looks fucking professional.
I didn't say it looked unprofessional.
Just
I didn't say it
match.
looked unprofessional.
Okay, I just wanted
match?
this to be a
I
fun
love it.
conversation, but you guys are amazing and took it 19 steps further. I
Okay,
do want
bye.
to know before we wrap this up, which one of you is more likely to have a six-pack at 40?
Why am
Me.
Oh, Richard.
Me.
Dude, my
What did you
Ozempic
say,
ain't
Perk?
kicked in yet,
Oh,
Allie.
Perk, you
Yeah.
are 40?
Yeah, I am 40. You know?
Well, we know that answer.
You have a six-pack?
Yeah, six pack
I'm getting
of a
there.
buck. Yeah, six pack.
Richard
of
is the
bucket.
most in shape. Genetically, I just don't have a chest, and I own a wine company. So, like, I got to do a lot, of sit-ups. But genetically, I'm the abs guy.
It sounds,
Richard
sounds
knows
like
that.
the
Richard
whole-
is the best guy.
Genetically, Channing's abs have always been elite. But so is his drinking. So that's pretty much gone away, right? So
about-
No, they're there. Dude, I've been doing planks 3 minutes a
okay,
day.
I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
What about Perk?
We're not.
No, listen, we done.
Allie, I just want a 2-pack, okay? I just got to work together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But look, it's cool. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I accept it.
Everybody's perfect.
Rich,
All right.
pause for 1 second. We're going to wrap this up in 12 seconds.
I'm right here.
Patience, grasshopper.
I'm right here.
That's another edition of Road Trippin.